Alright, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. So it's been a while since I made a video, and the reason for that is that I've been away, like out of the country for the whole of this month. But we are back now with a bang. We're going to be opening up a first edition, factory sealed, North American English starter deck Kaiba. However, we're not actually going to be opening up the what you can see here. If we were going to open this would be around a $5,000 opening. Now, what we are going to be opening is this sealed pack of cards, which is exactly what you get inside one of these. But there's a bit of a twist. So this deck is not actually mine. This came from a friend of mine. He picked it up on eBay. And the price he paid for this first edition, factory sealed, North American English starter deck Kaiba was only a few $100. I'm not sure exactly, like maybe $300 or in that range. And the reason that it's so much cheaper than the box I just showed you is because this starter deck Kaiba was actually damaged. So I think the story with this deck is that it was just like somewhere in a shelf, or maybe in a cupboard, in a garage or something like that for all of the years since 2002, and it got like moved around a lot, battered a lot. So you can see the corner here is pretty much destroyed on the Blue Eyes, and there's like a big dent on the foil as well. So the Blue Eyes is the most expensive card in the deck by a long way, and when you can see that the card is damaged, that makes a big difference to the value. But it's still a pretty awesome deck. From what I can see, the damage affects the first card and then like the first super rare behind it as well. I'm hoping that maybe the third super rare will be in decent shape, and I think for sure most of the commons are as well. So without further ado, let's get right into this opening. One of the most nostalgic products you can open as a Yu-Gi-Oh collector. These are always kind of awkward to open with the way the plastic wrap is so tight on the cards, and often the Blue Eyes and some of the super rares as well have corner dings right out of the packaging just because of how tight the plastic is and how fragile those glossy print cards are. Today I probably don't have to worry quite as much about damaging the cards because at the end of the day, this Blue Eyes is already pretty badly damaged. I mean, we can have a look at it now exactly, but I'm going to say this is probably a PSA 2 with the way that corner is. I mean, it's literally just missing the entire corner, so that's pretty tragic. Apart from that, it's a pack fresh card. It has those dents I mentioned, like one there, and I can see a smaller one there, but there's no kind of scratching or anything like that. Still feels like a pack fresh card, even if the actual condition doesn't reflect that. It actually looks like this would have been a solid PSA 10 candidate. Centering is a little off, but it's not bad for a glossy print card. But yeah, obviously like this, it's not going to do anything special in grading. But still a pretty cool card. I'm going to say that's still worthy of sleeving up, even if it's not in the best shape. Alright, I'm moving on to the Flute of Summoning Dragon. This is for sure in better shape than the Blue Eyes, but you can see that bottom corner is still pretty chewed up, and actually the bottom right corner as well. So again, this is still not a gradable card. I mean, this is probably mod play, heavy play. The Blue Eyes would be damaged with that corner is the only thing I could call it. But yeah, still a classic card. Gotta love the way that glossy foiling pops. And now is the more exciting moment where we actually look at the Lord of D, which it was hard to tell in the sealed packaging, but I believe this is actually not too badly damaged. So it looks like it doesn't have a foil line error or anything cool like that. Alright, okay, it does still have like a lifted corner, but it looks like it doesn't have too much whitening. It might be possible to kind of flatten that out a little, I'm not sure. And same on this side. So this is probably like a PSA 6 at the moment. So sadly, none of the holos are near mint, but still pretty cool cards to get to hold and open a sealed pack of. Definitely not something you get to do often nowadays. For the rest of the video, I guess we'll just go over the commons. Now these, as far as I can tell, are in good shape. Yeah, like the damage is unfortunate with the way these starter decks work. If any of the cards are damaged, it's always going to be like the most important cards because those are the ones on the front. And it looks like the commons are going to be pretty much mint. I'm not seeing any kind of damage from the packaging on these. So these do have value as raw cards even nowadays, but especially as PSA 10s, people pay up for these. And it looks like this is a fairly well-centered deck. I mean, to be honest, these still might not be 10s with the centering left to right, but glossy commons are often pretty bad for centering. So yeah, a lot of classic cards. There's the Monster Reborn, one of the better commons in the deck. We haven't got to the Dark Assassin yet. That's probably the most expensive common, and definitely, in my opinion, the coolest common from Star Deck Kaiba First Edition, because the name was censored to Dark Assailant in the Unlimited prints. At least nearly all of the Unlimited prints. So yeah, lots of very nostalgic cards. I'm pretty sure just about every collector who collects old school Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays must have collected, like owned a Star Deck Kaiba at some point as a kid. I think myself, I had at least 2 of these at different times. Never a first edition one because those were a lot harder to find than the Unlimiteds, but they printed the Unlimiteds to absolutely to death. I would say Star Deck Kaiba, Star Deck Yu-Gi Unlimited is kind of like the Yu-Gi-Oh equivalent of base set Unlimited in Pokemon, which just has an absolutely huge print run. But the cards are so nostalgic, they're so like universally loved that even with those print runs, they're still able to have some pretty decent values, especially as PSA 10s. I haven't really been concentrating, but I think we haven't had that Dark Assailant, right? Yeah, that one is still coming. The order of the cards in the deck is kind of interesting. For later decks, they corrected it so that the order is like in the same order as the set code, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. But for these oldest decks, it's actually just the same order that it is on the sheet. So they're cut from the sheet and then loaded directly into the decks, and so the numbers don't match at all. You can see they're just all over the place. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to how that works. They just didn't think of kind of reorganizing the cards to match the set codes, I guess. Lejin is another classic. This was the most powerful 4-star monster when it came out. And then, what's it called? 7-colored fish from Metal Raiders was the next. There we have it. That's the Dark Assassin. So I think this is maybe worth like 10-15 bucks as a near mint first edition common. So not a huge amount. But overall, I reckon my buddy who sent me this to open probably made back his money just from the commons out of this deck. And the holos, obviously they're pretty trashed, but they're more or less just a free bonus from what he paid. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the opening. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had some good fun opening this. Definitely not quite the same suspense as when you open an actual mint condition sealed deck and you may be getting that PSA 10 Blue Eyes. This was never going to be any kind of possibility with the obvious corner damage that the card had, but still a very nostalgic product to open. Awesome to see all of those cards in deck fresh condition again. And yeah, with that being said, that brings us to the end of this video. So this is Schlost signing out, and I will see you guys all in the next video.